are tackling the hard-hitting topics, some controversial topics, some topics we sweep under the rug. You don't always have to forgive in a relationship for it to move forward.
If it is you are in a situation where you forgive the person, but to the detriment of yourself, what are you really doing?
It is very uncommon for somebody in the younger age group to have dementia.
Atheists don't not believe.
Is that I can't disprove God, but you also can't prove God, so we cannot have a stalemate.
We'll focus on the woman who's being the victim,
right,
or the man who's being the victim. We exclude the children.
Folks are trying to study the underlying brain mechanism to figure out how does this particular disorder happen in the brain? How is the brain processing this?
Don't worry about AI, worry about humans working with AI.
Are you willing to learn new skills to stay relevant for the future job market? That's the challenge that people are going to struggle with.
I want to get a tattoo.
You really
respond to me. Respond to me how you would respond to me.
The first question I'll ask is why?
Controversial taboo topics.
We get so consumed by church, we forget that we have to live the life of being a Christian outside of the Sunday.
Like you say, we think going to a service makes us a Christian.
Exactly.
Yeah. Right. So here we are about to hear the second time Pastor J wanted to take a tattoo.
Would have been late last year. Really this year.
Hope Unfiltered podcast with Pastor J and Ren.
You are watching Strictly Legal on WESN Content Capital. Just give an overview of what exactly is that split arrangement.
Nah, you don't need to register nothing. You don't need. We can do that another time. But then it becomes a hit, and then everybody starts to want to claim.
The laws that predate many of the independent countries' constitutions are going to be those colonial laws.
We know there are an infinite amount of circumstances that would lead to a murder.
I have a great idea and I have a great concept, but until it's actually expressed, it does not become intellectual property.
Accomplishments or targets of a forensic accountant is to quantify what may have been lost.
We believe in different criminals and we manipulated the law and we exploited the system.
A responsible journalist will reach out to the person who they have the information on for a comment.
This is 10 questions. I'm Andy Johnson. The distance from where we should be in the world in going forward on our commitments with climate change.
The effects of climate change that cannot be accounted for. It's called loss and damage, and we're seeing loss and damage happening so much more in this decade and the previous decade.
The principal term there was this question of the correspondent banking issues.
That is why we're trying to build capacity with this country here, Trinidad and Tobago, and other countries in the region. Man
is not showing any signs of stopping or even slowing down. More than half of the forest in Trinidad is already gone.
All the plants and all the animals and all of the nice clean water and fresh air and everything had to be on this planet for humanity to have a chance.
We have small change when it comes to countries that can take decisions, and when they speak, the world listens.
The General Assembly is a very democratic forum. And Trinidad and Tobago has the same vote as Canada, in spite of the obvious difference in size.
This is Face of Sports, WESN Content Capital. How you felt about the kiss on the lip?
That's the business. I'm nothing to do with that.
I find that was distasteful.
The national senior team, whether you like it or not, that is the model for all other teams to follow.
I'm assuming that the regional requirement may be a much stricter requirement.
This is not about Pro League and Super League. This is a league run by the Normalization Committee that I'm responsible for.
Nobody expected FIFA to fund this arrangement.
If we don't get a professional attitude towards this, we are doomed for failure.
You break a balance, trip the leg, control the body.
They ain't gonna stand put forever.
Why you want the Chiefs to lose so? Why you want the Chiefs to lose so?
They already have two. Lamar don't
Why?
have.
You're jealous because you know the Chiefs getting closer to the Patriots.
Let's go to the last part.
No,
Let's go to the last part.
In Trinidad and Tobago, cervical cancer still remains a serious health problem, ranking the third most frequent cancer among women in this country.
So you may be happily at home not knowing you might have the early signs or the early stages of cervical cancer. So the first thing is that it can be completely without any symptoms or signs.
Hi, I am Emiliana Beechan and I am a mental health and conflict resolution consultant. Welcome to Mind Matters, the show where we explore the intricate world of mental health and the art of conflict resolution. Join us as we hear from mental health professionals, conflict resolution experts, and everyday people who have transformed their lives through understanding and communication. Mind Matters, coming soon to WESN Content Capital.
As you come in. Long time I see you, girl. This station pumping. Ready for children party. Mommy! Jay, you can't go nowhere with these children. And you know you can't depend on Kevin neither Steven to see about them. Yeah, total waste. So I supposed to stay home whole time? Jada is 12. She could see about them. You just leave Jada to see about Kira and Kayla? I thought it was your mother or your sister. Who? Them always busy. Jada could handle that. She cooking and cleaning a long time. And the next two, better know what time it is. It's only me, you know. I will talk to my mother. She just home these days. She will make sure the children okay. Alright. Let me see the moves for later.
Before you ramage, make sure the children okay. Call 996 to report all child abuse now. A message from the Children's Authority of Trinidad and Tobago. WESN.
Good morning and welcome to AM Prime on WESN. I'm Naomi McNish.
I'm Takia Thompson.
So this morning we want to get into some news updates, some very both exciting, interesting, trending topics before we jump into this morning's first interview. Now, the carnival season is officially in full swing, and if you need a reminder as to how important and how powerful that Pan really is, here it is, right? So after 6 long years of coming close but not quite clinching the top spot, Pan Eldest Steel Orchestra has emerged victorious in the 2026 Panorama Medium Band category. And they didn't just win, they dominated. The Carib Street San Fernando-based band walked away with 3 major trophies: the Medium Band Champions, Best Performance, and Best Dressed. And according to their manager, Hollister Smith, the feeling was nothing short of magical. Smith described the moment as ecstatic, saying after years of second and third places, they finally took what was theirs. The 90-member ensemble wowed judges at the Queen's Park Savannah with their performance of Magician, I Command You, by Antigua's Burning Flames, composed by Sir Clarence Edwards. What made this win even more special, the band leaned heavily into Caribbean collaboration, working with Tobagonian arranger O.J. Richards and musical director Kiyomi. A move Smith says paid off beautifully. Hope I got that right. Now, Smith also revealed the brand intentionally embraced that regional connection, even thanking Sir Clarence Edwards personally. And yes, fans would have spotted Kes the Illusionist on stage as part of the performance. Richards, meanwhile, says the win still hasn't sunk in, calling it surreal and describing the band as a triple threat. There was also the San Fernando Skyfall Bunch manager, Junior Regrello, praised Pan Elders also for hoisting the San Fernando flag, pointing out that South and Central haven't had many wins at this level in recent years. So, yeah, I'm very happy for them, proud of them. And we can see that the steel pan is something that is continuing to thrive. Yes. And bands are getting very creative when it comes to panorama, which I think as a culture, as, you know, national pride, we can be very proud of that.
Definitely. Along the same lines of Carnival, you know, we want to look at the big bands. So the large panorama band conventional finals is set to take place this Saturday at the Queen's Park Savannah in Port of Spain. This year's competition promises fireworks with our reigning national steel band champions, Republic Bank Exeter Steel Band, once again vying for steel band glory. After delivering a strong performance of Kia Behave in the semi-finals of scoring 278.5 points, Exeter has earned the 9th performance spot in the finals lineup. The finals will kick off with First Citizens Supernova Steel Orchestra, opening the show in the #1 position, followed by Marcy Trinidad All-Stars Steel Orchestra in the 2nd slot. In the 3rd spot, one of the bands everyone's talking about, BP Renegade Steel Orchestra, top scores from the semi-finals with 281 points for their rendition of The Lizard, will take the stage. The show continues with Panorama Starlift Steel Orchestra in 4th, Nutrient Silver Stars 5th, and Phase 2 Pan Group 6th. TN Tropical Angel Harps will perform 7th, followed by Desperados Steel Orchestra in the 8th position. Right after them, at number 9, comes Republic Bank Exeter Steel Band, bringing their unique sound and champion experience to the finals. And to close off the night, Cats and Jammers Steel Orchestra will take the 10th spot, with Skiffle Steel Orchestra surrounding out the program in 11th. This competition is more than a contest. It's a celebration of Trinidad and Tobago musical heritage, showcasing the dedication, creativity, and talents of our steel band musicians. Whether you're heading down to the Savannah or tuning in from home, you can expect an evening filled with spectacular performances. So it's something we definitely have to stay tuned and look out for this Saturday, happening right there in the Savannah.
Are you one to go down to Panorama?
I am. I love, honestly, I really do love Panorama. I love the steel pan. I used to play, so it's, yeah.
Yeah, the steel pan, I love herring pan. I can't play, but it's something that I've always wanted to learn. Never got around to it, never did it. But
definitely should.
Definitely still proud of, you know, that I'm from a country where the pan originated, and it's such a big deal here. Now, we're staying on the carnival scene a bit, and I know many of us have heard or seen, maybe been part of conversations surrounding this carnival band that added adult toys to their goodie bags. One thing that I came across yesterday was the Prime Minister, Mrs. Prasad Bisesa. She is urging carnival revelers to enjoy themselves, but with restraint. So her comments come amid this public debate over the mass band distributing adult toys in their goodie bags for females, which sparked criticism from the Catholic Archbishop, Jason Gordon, and he called for tighter regulation of carnival. Before I get in further about what the Prime Minister actually said in her comments, what are your thoughts on this, Dikia?
It's definitely a new approach that the bands are taking. I get that they wanted to treat it as Valentine's Day, and you know that kickoff of Carnival is happening around the same time, but at the same time, you know, no words.
Yeah.
No words.
Yeah, I get that. It's when I saw the story initially, I thought to myself, it's different.
Right.
The more I looked into it, and the mass band CEO, he did say, you know, this idea came about because we were thinking, well, Valentine's Day is Carnival
Yes.
Saturday, so we were thinking roses for Valentine's, and the idea just came about there. So to me, I said, you know, when you look at it, you can't be too upset because at the end of the day, they're doing something for their customers.
Right.
And it's really none of our concern what people do with the things that they get in their goodie bags.
That is so true. They are paying their
they're
money
paying
for
mass.
it. So.
And the comments about people sexualizing Carnival and having this product in your Carnival goodie bag is sexualizing Carnival, I don't get it, honestly. That's my honest opinion. I don't get it because there's so much more that sexualized Carnival than adding an adult toy to the goodie bag. Yes, it could have tipped the scale, but I still believe that the costumes is already sexualizing Carnival. The limited fabric on these costumes has already made Carnival what it is.
That is so true.
You sexualize women in thongs and all these different pieces of, or lack of pieces of clothing,
Yes.
right? When you put condoms in your Carnival goodie bags as well, that's also sexualizing Carnival.
It is.
So really and truly, this should not have been such a big deal. But going back to what the Prime Minister said, in a WhatsApp response, the Prime Minister said revelers should avoid actions that could embarrass or humiliate themselves or their families, especially in the age of social media. Now, this statement comes because people were concerned that, well, Trinis could be a bit foolish, and they might take their rose out on the road and use it publicly. Now, personally, that is one of the things that I was more concerned about than it being in the goodie bag in the first place, right? Because Trinis can do some stupid things. So this is just, don't go out there and embarrass yourself, Carnival. Have fun, be safe, and let the season end on a good note, right? Because certain things that you do out in public, you can't take it back, especially if things get on social media. You cannot take it back. It's there for good, forever. And once it gets out there, you have no control over who sees it and how that can affect you in the future. So furthermore, the Carnival Bands Association President Mark Iron says any regulation must involve consultation with stakeholders, reminding the public that Carnival reflects the people. In a powerful commentary, Father Robert Christo wrote that the church is not anti-Carnival, but concerned about over-commercialization, elitism, and exclusion. So this just goes back to the conversation around, is Carnival affordable for everybody? And this came about because, you know, they've been, leading up to Carnival, you always find social media influencers or persons talking about or going to collect their Carnival goodie bags, their costumes, and doing unboxings and all these different things. And people tend to also talk about the cost of these costumes and these goodie bags. Now, the Carnival Bands Association president, he also argued that small vendors and grassroots culture bearers are being pushed out by big money, turning a people's festival into a gated experience. So it's no longer for everybody, it's for who can afford.
Right.
And yeah, so that's part of the conversation as well. I saw that, I found it interesting. These are conversations that or topics that come up annually around this time. And we haven't really seen much change, and honestly every year is the same thing. But maybe at some point a change will happen and somebody will step forward and say, well, okay, Carnival needs to evolve a bit. Although this year, I know we were talking off camera to Kia about the Flavor Village.
Yes.
That this is something, the Flavor Village was something I think the government actually got right this year. It really was a good thing what they did and how they have these free concerts happening during the Flavor Village. It's not just good for our culture, but it's also the vendors that are present at the Flavor Village. Because it's not, you know how you have the shops or the
the different booths they would have set
around
up.
the savannah, right? So we don't only have that, which is also something positive for the economy, but now you have the Flavor Village and vendors inside as well. And there's so much happening, so much. I haven't been. Have you been?
I have been.
Okay.
It's very lively upon entry.
Yeah.
There are like different sections, so it's food in one aisle, entertainment, but they all lead to a bigger entertainment.
Right, which
so
is
at no point,
concert.
which is the concert.
And then this Friday, which I believe is going to be the last big concert
that they're having.
It's Marshall Montano. And who doesn't love to see Marshall Montano? So that, if you are interested in that, that's a free concert with Marshall and probably a bunch of other artists.
That would be
you can go down to the Flavor Village in the Queenspark Savannah, and the showtime starts at 8 p.m. Yeah. So, and I haven't been, but I want to go before they close.
I hope you
tried
do.
to go, and I couldn't get a park. It was so much people.
Oh,
There
yeah.
was a lot of people.
The parking things in Trinidad, you know, that would always be a major thing. But I do believe with time and maybe go early as possible, you might just happen to secure a park.
Yeah, I guess. All right, so the final story that we want to touch on this morning, this one is an update on the shooting of Joshua Samaru and Kaya Seeley. Now, Kaya Seeley, she's 24 years old, and she was shot multiple times during the January 20th incident in St. Augustine, which claimed the life of her partner, Joshua Samaru. Now, she says that she is determined to continue fighting for justice. Though paralyzed and confined to a hospital bed, Seeley has authorized her attorney to seek a judicial review, citing a lack of transparency and access to her personal devices and police records. Now, her attorney, Fayola Sandy, says despite assurances that Seeley was not under investigation, her phone and tablet were seized under a warrant issued 9 days after the incident. Requests for clarity and the return of her devices, as well as a freedom of information request, have reportedly gone unanswered. Seeley also alleges that armed officers were stationed outside her hospital room for days, despite her not being arrested or charged. Her legal team says this raises serious questions about lawful process and accountability, especially given CCTV footage that appears to contradict official accounts. And as Seeley focuses on rehabilitation and caring for her young child, she says she will continue to pursue the truth through legal channels. And this is a story that we will continue to follow very closely as it unfolds and as we get updated as a public, because I think everybody is in support and advocating for justice for Kaya Seeley and her now deceased partner, Joshua Samaru. All right, so we are now going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we have a conversation, an exciting conversation in store for you. And we're staying on theme as it's Carnival Week.
Right.
So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Hi, I am Emiliana Beechan, and I am a mental health and conflict resolution consultant. Welcome to Mind Matters, the show where we explore the intricate world of mental health and the art of conflict resolution. Join us as we hear from mental health professionals, conflict resolution experts, and everyday people who have transformed their lives through understanding and communication. Mind Matters, coming soon to WESN Content Capital.
Knowing how to tell authentic is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Find it, match it, search it. Step 1. Find the style number on the tag. Step 2. Match the style number inside the jersey with the number on the tag. Step 3. Search it. A quick Google search of the style number will verify the jersey is authentic when the search results match the jersey being searched. Don't be fooled by counterfeit jerseys. Before you buy, remember to find it, match it, search it.
Fan Zone, 2 locations nationwide. Center City Mall, Chaguanas and Movietown, Port of Spain. Nationwide delivery available.
I want to get a tattoo.
You really
respond
wanna-
to me.
respond
Respond to
to
me
you?
how you would respond to me.
The first question I'll ask is why?
Controversial taboo topics.
We get so consumed by church, we forget that we have to live the life of being a Christian outside of the Sunday
Like you say,
services.
we think going to a service makes us a Christian.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. So here we are about to hear the second time Pastor J wanted to take a tattoo.
Would have been late last year and early this year.
Oh gosh.
Hope Unfiltered podcast with Pastor J and Ren.
Our award-winning show is back, and this season promises to be even more exciting than before. What's Up, Doc isn't just a title, it's a call to action for anyone who wants to improve their health and well-being. Join us on this thrilling ride towards better health on WESN Content Capital.
This is Face of Sports, WESN Content Capital. How you felt about the kiss on the lip?
That's the business. I'm nothing to do with that.
I find that was distasteful.
The national senior team, whether you like it or not, that is the model for all other teams to follow.
I'm assuming that the regional requirement may be a much stricter requirement.
This is not about Pro League and Super League. This is a league run by the Normalization Committee that I'm responsible for.
Nobody expected FIFA to fund this arrangement.
If we don't get a professional attitude towards this, we are doomed for failure.
You break the balance, trip the leg, control the body.
They ain't gonna stand put
Why
forever.
you want the Chiefs to lose so? Why you want the Chiefs to lose so?
They already have 2. Lamar don't
Why?
have.
You're jealous because you know the Chiefs getting closer to the Patriots. Let's go to the last part. Let's go to the last part.
You are watching Strictly Legal on WESN Content Capital. Just give an overview of what exactly is that split arrangement.
Nah, you don't need to register nothing. You don't need, we can do that another time. But then it becomes a hit, and then everybody starts to want to claim.
The laws that predate many of the independent countries' constitutions are going to be those colonial laws.
We know there are an infinite amount of circumstances that would lead to a murder.
I have a great idea and I have a great concept, but until it's actually expressed, it does not become intellectual property.
Accomplishments or targets of a forensic accountant is to quantify what may have been lost.
They believe we defend criminals and we manipulated the law and we exploiting the system.
A responsible journalist will reach out to the person who they have the information on for a comment.
Welcome back to In Prime this morning. Now, our guest today is an artist who lives his culture out loud. Now, Steve Peters, professionally known as Stevie P, has spent over 2 decades using music as a tool for storytelling, empowerment, and cultural pride. Versatile across soca, calypso, reggae, and soca parang, Stevie P is not only an entertainer, but a mentor, entrepreneur, and youth advocate. Now, his latest release, Juve Jumbie, taps into the raw electric spirit of Juve, setting the tone for Carnival from the very first beat. And you'll know what I mean when you hear this song.
Chabo! Chabo! Sing jumping on Carnival Day when the mud must come to break away. Jumping, peregrine and jumping, the band and the drop them invoking and singing. Jumping, see we playing mass all over town and we coming just to break it down singing. Jumping, when we come out here for Juve, you go hear we sing the love way. Chop the fiddle man, fork and chain in we hand. Oil and mud on me skin, so the spirits that to jam. Drum beat take control. Heat up your soul. Drum beat take control. Heat up your soul. Heat up your soul. Heat up your soul.
So you see what I mean, right? It's very, the beat itself is up, and we've had the calypso, we've had the kaiso, we've had the soca, so this is something for Juve morning. Now I just want to welcome Mr. Stevie P to the program this morning. Good morning, Stevie, welcome.
It's a pleasure to be here this morning.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now, before we get into the song, just take us back to, let's get to know you. For the viewers that don't know who, you are, Stevie P. What first drew you to music? How did growing up in Trinidad shape your sound? And how did you get where you are now?
Okay, firstly, I've been involved in music from a tender age, since primary school, in choirs and stuff like that now, coming up in the years like that, right? But involvement probably as a artist came a lot later, where I first started with a small band from down in my area called Youth Sensation. I don't know if you heard about that band a couple years ago. Bungie, I think, that kind of took over that band as a kind of support band a couple years after I left. So that was the first experience with being a vocalist, more or less. But always involved in music. I was in Best Village once, and as a drummer, part drummer. rhythm section. So I was always around music itself. From since small, you know?
Yeah. Now, what is one lesson that you've learned? Because I mean, you've been involved in music for over 20 years. So what's one lesson that you've learned in the industry that you still carry with you today?
Well, what I say, I learned about the music itself. You have to have love for this. You have to have love and passion for it, because if you don't have love and passion for it, it's something that you could be discouraged easily now, because it's kind of tough to really break out. So my love for it have me here up to this day. So if that love and passion wasn't for it right now, I probably might not have been in music right now. So it's the passion that I probably am, that holds me here now. Passion for the music.
Right. Now, Mr. Stevie, you've spoken about uplifting the voiceless through music. This is something that you would have done through the various genres of music that you would have put out in your years in music, which would have been the soca, calypso, reggae. How intentional are you when it comes to having a message in your songs versus just hype?
Yeah, it is important. It is really important. I always like to create or write with a story. I just don't like to just throw words all about the place. So it has to be story oriented with my music, more or less. It is very important to have a story within the structure of my music. I write most of my music, but there are one or two songs that I did that people wrote for me. So the same way too now. But most of my music I wrote myself.
Right. Now let's talk about Juve Jumpy, right? We listened to it just now. What inspired the song, and you know, what feeling did you want the people to have when hearing it?
Okay, well, I'm going to go back into my feelings a little bit with this song. Well, music for me is like, I say it's a part-time thing, more or less, right? Because I'm a barber full-time, also coach football. So when the carnival time was almost, that might can be kind of bad way, when carnival time is almost around, and I started hearing new singles being released and stuff like that. I was getting a little excited now, so things just come in my head at that moment. So this started more or less like I wanted to create something around explaining the characters in Carnival. Basically all the characters around Carnival and the folklore characters too now. So that was the first thought came to me, to bring us along a song involving most of the characters in the song. But sometimes when I sit down like this, now and I just probably have my song system and I put on my instrumental and just vibe. Then things just coming. Mine, this jumpy thing. Come in mind, so I just had a bill on the jumpy. And then if you notice part of the chorus again, ooh, because I wanted to do something different now. And I feel the song of the pirate cry will bring a brought a new flavor into the music now. So let me see if I can mesh the pirate cry with what I had in mind, and basically that was the structure of the song really. And I started build from there now.
Right. So what does Juve,
So that would come.
what does Juve mean to you? Like, apart from this song, I just want to know, for you personally.
Juve's a deep meaning, because Juve more or less embodies everybody, rich and poor, and everybody's basically does be on the same level in Juve. When you see a Juve band and everybody in mod, you don't know rich and poor, who is very grand and who is millionaire, who is billionaire. Everybody basically is the same level at that moment now.
Yeah.
So it kind of brings us together just for that moment. So it's a great experience to feel that now. That oneness within the whole Juve atmosphere now. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So what is something you have learned throughout this whole experience where having to well, doing this whole Juve Jambi and, you know, taking it to the studio, getting the beat to go with it, what is an experience or something you've learned from it? What's that outcome look like?
Well, sometimes, you know, you go to the studio, well, let me just say, I don't know if you know what, let me tell you. Sometimes you go to the studio and you try to, the producer try to create something for you, but sometimes it doesn't really feel correct. So it probably, you know, you might not really get the vibes that you want to get from within what you're feeling. So if a producer could bring out that feeling from you with the music, that is a very important part of the structure of the song, basically. So this song, tell you the truth about the song, I was kind of skeptical of doing any music this year because the marketing aspect of the song, the music itself was kind of tough to get it out. Because I have other songs a couple of years well, and I've been going through this momentum where, you know, you have a song and you send it to the radio and you email it, and it's just kind of run around now. So I was kind of holding back from creating any music for this season. But this vibe just come to me, and I actually called my producer, GQ Maximo from Santa Florida, and he sent a set of vibes, and he set a rhythm for me, and I find the song so correct on the rhythm. So with that energized myself to release the song for this year. So that basically what I heard from GQ. That what gave me encouragement to do a track this year. So it does. When you hear or you feel the music that you want to feel, it brings a sort of excitement to you as an artist.
Yes, of course. From the time the song comes on, I think the first initial beat that hits you is like, oh, okay, this is a Juve song. This is for Juve.
Even if you don't want to, you're going to find yourself going to it. And then, you know, the words are catchy as well. So you're going to be singing along.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. That's a nice piece of news to hear from, you know?
Yes. Now, you are a man of many hats, as you said. You coach football, you're a business owner, and then you're a musician as well, a vocalist. Now, when you wear all these different hats, what do you hope that young people see when they look at you, they look at your journey, they look at, you know, everything that you do, and that you're still pushing forward to, you know, put out music, to show up for work every day, to show up for them when it comes to coaching football? What do you hope that they see from that?
Well, I hope that they be encouraging in any way possible, that some dream they might have or something they might want to create, just do rock back and feel things might happen like that. You have to come out and push yourself forward regardless how long it might take, because I say music is like this for me. So when you look at my musical careers, as I say, I've been in this long, and if it wasn't for passion, I would not have been here today with the music. So you have to find a passion, what is something you're passionate about, and keep driving forward. Passion with me put into football. I was a footballer when I was younger, so I always had a love for football, and working with children as I get older. So it's a joy for me to see I bring up a youth from grassroots, and they develop into a professional player or national standard football. So it's basically, money is not the driving factor with me with that. It never has been, but money is a perk. It's perks that will add to whatever I do, but never make money the main focus on what you want to do, because make love of whatever you're doing the first thing before money. Money will come after when it's supposed to come. Like that. No, just drive forward with passion.
Yeah. Now, you do soca parang as well. So my final question to you is, what can we expect next from Stevie P? I know, well, Christmas is going to be coming up this year. Once again, can we expect anything for the Christmas season, or can we expect anything sooner rather than later?
Well, actually, I'll tell you something. Most of my songs I did was more or less on the groovy side of the soca. I did a power soca before 1 or 2, but this Juve song is more or less already not really venture into it, but it's always part of me basically. But the way I feel about this Juve song right now, I feel I might continue doing something along this line. I might add that as a main part of my, music, doing Juve-oriented songs. Plus, yes, I will do a prank sometime coming for Christmas. But as I say, I just move with feeling and vibes. Once I get a vibes and the right spirit behind me and energy, I will do whatever genre, because as I say, I do reggae also. So. But yes, I intend to continue writing and releasing new music in the future. So something will be coming soon.
We'll look out for that for sure.
Definitely. So, we're here and we want to know, any of the tents were you involved with for this year in terms of like going out, meeting the other artists, or participating in any of the different things that would have been happening?
Well, actually, I was in a community tent on my side. It's Birds Calypso tent from Palo Seco. I'm from Losbo. I reside in Santa Flora, but Birds Calypso tent is more like they move around. They don't have no like one position, so you move around the Point 14, Marabella, Santa Flora. So I'm involved with them at this moment.
Right. Nice. So how has the journey been going, and what does the feedback look like?
Well, the feedback is good, The feedback is good. The feedback is good. And actually, this little 1 or 2 performances are wrong, so just trying to spread the song itself, and people get familiar with the song. And the season is right there because Carnival is a couple of days away. And actually, just released a video for the song 2 days ago. And it's getting a good feedback on Facebook and YouTube. So it's building, and yeah, Carnival, I said, Carnival itself doesn't really end here when Trinidad and Carnival over. We have other carnivals in the Caribbean to continue.
Yes.
From beyond, we just a platform basically. This platform in Trinidad is a very important platform. It could propel you forward and make you more successful for the whole year, once year. Once you connect properly with the audience in Trinidad,
So can persons find the song as well as the video attached to the song Juve Jumbies if they just search it on Facebook or YouTube? Yeah?
Facebook, YouTube, TikTok at this moment.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much, Stevie P, for coming on this morning and chatting with Takia and I. We really appreciate it. Yes.
So nice to meet you all, ladies.
It is a pleasure. Thank you. So we are going to, well, as you heard, if you do want to watch the video, if you do want to support, listen to the song again, you can search Juve Jumbi on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and just have a look at it. The song is not too, it's pretty catchy.
Yeah, it has you going, it has you pumping.
Yeah. All right, so share this song, guys. Share this song and yeah, send it out to your friends. Tell them take a listen and let it be part of your carnival season. All right, so we are going to take a quick break now. Today is Wednesday, so you know the drill. It is Wild Wednesday, and again, unfortunately, Mr. Mead is not with us. He does have a lot of things happening right now that he has to be present at the center.
Yeah.
And so, but very soon he will be back, and we will have another live Wild Wednesday. So bear with us when it comes to that, but do enjoy another replay of Wild Wednesday this morning.
Oil up, chain dragging, jabbo, jabbo, sing whoa, Jambi. Jumbie. Say we jumping on Carnival Day when the mud must come to break away. Jumbie. Peregrine a jumping, the band and the drop them invoking and singing. Jumbie. Say we playing mass all over town and we coming just to break it down singing. Jumbie. When we come out there for Juve, you boy here we sing the love way. Chop the fellow man, fork and chain in we hand. Oil and mud on his skin, so the spirits start to jam. Chop the fellow man, fork and chain in we hand. Oil and mud on his skin, so the spirits start to jam. Jumbie, take control. Keep up your soul. Jumbie, take control. Keep up your soul. Keep up your soul.
Don't stop,
Previously on Cover Star,
just keeping on with my flow.
we met the voices and we met our first 2 panels of judges. Episode 1, Vonette Bickford and myself, Hannah Abdul. Episode 2, Candice Alcantara and the piano girl Johanna. And shout out to our judges for tonight's episode, Jarrell Forbes, Luke Samerson, and Vonette is back. Over the last 2 episodes, we got into the covers and the judges looked, listened, and scored. 2 contestants were unable to perform due to illness. They did not score and they were out of the running. This is Cover Star, where music history meets its next voice.
On WESN, the content capital.
As you come in. Long time I see you. This station complete. Ready for children party. Mommy! Jay, you can't go nowhere with these children. And you know you can't depend on Kevin neither Stephen to see about them. They're total waste. So I supposed to stay home whole time? Jada is 12. She could see about that. You just leave Jada to see about Kia and Kayla. I thought it was your mother or your sister. Who? Them always busy. Jada could handle that. She cooking and cleaning a long time. And the next 2 better know what time it is. It's only me, you know. I will talk to my mother. She just home these days. She will make sure the children okay. All right. Let me see the moves for later.
Before you ramage, make sure the children okay. Call 996 to report all child abuse now. A message from the Children's Authority of Trinidad and Tobago.
Maybe he landed here totally by coincidence. But if by chance he's admiring your fresh coat of Benjamin Moore soft sky blue, well, that's a pretty high compliment. Coming from an expert.
Our award-winning show is back, and this season promises to be even more exciting than before. What's Up, Doc isn't just a title, it's a call to action for anyone who wants to improve their health and well-being. Join us on this thrilling ride towards better health on WESN Content Capital.
All right, welcome back. And as you know, what we've got in store for you today, it is Wild Wednesday.
We're always excited for Wild Wednesday.
Yes.
So
Naomi and I are tackling something today. Yes. So as always, we have Mr. Ricardo Mead with us. I'm gonna
cards to him and let him take over for what we've got in store for you today.
How are you this morning, Mr. Mead?
I am doing absolutely wonderful. Good morning to my lovely ladies here hosting me on Wild Wednesday, and to our lovely audience, followers, listeners out there under www. It's Wild Wednesday. So without much ado, let's get wild. Let's get wild. Bring the wildlife on the stage.
We're always so excited to see what animal is joining us on Wild Wednesday. So this morning it's actually quite a beautiful creature, I must say. So let's... No, not you. But can we introduce this creature, please?
Well, first of all, I'm going to put on my special glove. So you know, I know the audience out there knows what is coming up. The glove is a raptor handler glove, so it's a raptor or a bird of prey, much related to the velociraptors of prehistoric times. So with me this morning is a bird that many people believe to be one of the most spectacular looking birds of prey anywhere in the world. When my foreign friends see this bird, it's like, wow, what bird is that? Can we have that in our country? Is that in your country? So with me this morning, without much ado, is Snow. Snow is just going to step up onto the glove here. Step up, Snowy. And make your grand appearance here.
He's so gorgeous. He looks even bigger than, I mean, from on the camera, he looks massive. He's huge in person as well, but it's just the ratio from him and your head. So tell us, so what is Snow?
Snow is a white hawk.
Okay.
It's called a white hawk now, but the scientific people are going through some issues, and I think by the end of the year or early next year, they will come up with a different name for Snow.
Okay.
But for now, it's still a white hawk. And it is native to Trinidad, not found in Tobago, found also in South America. It's not a bird that's of any particular interest with regards to its status being endangered or anything, so it's fairly widespread. The problem we have is that it's this bird's beauty is what creates its problems. This bird in particular has many problems which you may not be able to identify, so I will point out. When he came in, he was very small. Someone brought it into us. I would say it was probably 90% dead. Only 5% life basically left in this bird. And we fought for him because it's really one of our favorites. Someone got it off a nest as usual, fell from a nest, and they decided, oh my gosh, this beautiful bird, I'm going to mine it. And it always takes me back to what I always tell Trinis, mind your own business. Leave the wildlife to the professionals or leave it in the wild. So even if the animal has a situation where you believe it needs help, are you qualified? How many courses did you do? How many years of experience have you had maintaining, preserving, fixing wildlife? Do you know what the problem is with the animal? And if your answer to any of these questions is no, drink some water and mind your own business. You know, or give us a call. That's it, simple as that. Give us a call, 24/7, free call. Well, it's not free, your network will charge you for it, but we won't, okay? And we will provide the assistance. Sometimes we can do it over the phone. Do this, do that, do the other, and they call me next day, oh my gosh, Mr. Mead, they came and the parents flew off with the baby and everything was wonderful. Or if we have to intervene, we do our best to get the animal back to its original condition, rehabilitate it, and then it goes back into the wild. So this person got this bird as a nestling and decided, I go in and mine it, feeding the bird a constant diet of liver, chicken liver. Now I tell you as man, you put liver in front of me, we vex. We're going to have a problem. All right? So imagine this is all that this bird, developing, growing as a young nestling, had to eat. It had so many developmental problems. Its feathers weren't growing out properly. And the point where they brought it to us, the bird couldn't stand. It could not stand. The body was weakened, and we were very much afraid that something called metabolic bone disease would have stepped in, and at the slightest trauma to the body, it would have broken a leg, a wing, its back, or something like that. Because without proper diet, without the calcium, the bones, which have to grow very fast, okay, so they will try to grow fast, but without the density and the calcium deposits being put down, they will be very thin, very weak, and the bird can literally just crush itself on its own weight. So this bird was a total mess and had to be force-fed for a week, fed emergency food. We had to blend up rats and mice and all sorts of other nutrients in the blender, which my wife no longer uses, and tube-fed into this bird. And eventually, it was able to stand. That was the first great sign of progress, standing, because this bird was just flopping all over the place, rolling on its back and its side, standing. So we knew that there was some progress. We saw the weight gain, we saw the standing, and then the amazing thing, we saw feathers starting to pop out. It takes a lot of nutrients for the birds to pop out feathers. It seems simple, but it happens with us humans too. Whenever we are ill and something is wrong, one of the first things that happens to us, our nails and our hair. It doesn't have the luster, it doesn't have the shine, it doesn't grow, it starts to drop, right? So just think of people who go through chemotherapy. That is a brutal attack on your body, and the body gives up the hair follicles and stuff like that. So this bird, when we saw feathers popping out, we said, yes, something is working, we are going in the right direction. And now, almost a year and a half later, the bird has come back tremendously, not 100%, because the bird still has a major problem. For a bird like this, a bird of prey, to function as a bird of prey, he has to know he's a bird of prey and function like a bird of prey. He has zero strength. He probably has the strength in his legs, but he doesn't know that he can kill with his legs.
Right.
So this is what he kills with. But instead of that, I mean, I could have just easily have had this bird on my regular hand because it is so gentle. So he puts his foot on you and it's like, I don't want to hurt you. When it's supposed to be, I'm holding on because this is my killing force. And even when he tries to like sort of peck at you, it's a joke. Ow, ow. That's a little harder today. You're getting there. But yeah, you should have ripped skin and I should have been, oh my gosh, no, you're killing me. He's just not doing that. But we're taking steps, slow steps, to bring this bird back to a level of normalcy. I mean, his mind was so messed up. One of his toes here is messed up. And what happened? Yeah, the toe's messed up. What happens is that he got food on that toe. And he's like, oh, look, there's food. And he started eating his own toe. The bird is messed up. Okay, so, but he has come a long way. He looks beautiful. When you saw him before, you would not have said this bird is beautiful. Like, ew, what on earth was that?
So what are these steps y'all would have to take to get this bird back to being an authentic hawk?
Well, he's gotten the physical part down.
Yeah.
Now it's basically the mental part through training, doing literally pop-ups, so him to start using the wing and to understand that, hey, see, he got the beak now. Now he's crazy with the beak. He's showing off that he can use his beak. Literally pop-ups to get him to fly up because he has no wing strength.
Okay.
Okay, so the idea is put him on the ground, get him to pop up, put him on the ground, get him to jump up to the glove. So he starts using that wing in a way that really embraces flying and gets him up. And once he learns, he's like, wow, look at these things. I can fly with these things. I can go from here to there. And he will, once he gets into the routine of doing it, he will continue doing it. And with that, his wing muscles build up, his pectoral muscles, his chest muscles build up. He's going to breathe better. He's going to have more endurance, and slowly along the way, this bird will come along until it starts to fly. This is still not a flying bird.
Yeah. Are y'all also training him to catch his food? So
well,
the mice.
He can't catch yet because he can't really fly.
Yeah.
But what he's getting right now is whole foods that are stunned or killed. So he understands this is what food is, not just pieces of meat cut up. So he can recognize a mouse. He gets quite excited for mice and rats. And he can grab them with these talons now, and he can rip it apart with his beak. So that is the progress. So the next stage now, you put them together, flying, food, flying, food. I can fly over there and get my food and use these things to kill it and then use my beak to rip it apart. So it's slowly trying, ooh, yeah.
And what have we called that?
Yeah. That's why it's always good to not let him face the back end to anybody. They are quite capable of projectile pooping. And like I've told people before, they don't believe me. I said 6 feet, and they don't think it's possible. But check the distance from here to there.
Yeah, I think they got something on the ground. This is
no,
it's
yeah. It made it all the way to that light tripod over there.
Yeah.
6 feet. And why would a bird need to poop 6 feet away? Well, as a nestling especially, they need to keep that area. Remember, they're eating meat. So the byproduct, their poop, is quite odoriferous, quite smelly, quite yucky. So instead of mom and dad having to clean the nest, if they aim, lift, and shoot, it keeps the area clean.
Interesting. I thought it was almost like to mark your territory.
Oh, no.
That's dogs.
Yeah, that's your dog. Sometimes the cat,
Yeah.
They just want to keep their nest area clean because the amount of meat they consume a day, it would be absolutely disgusting by those nests.
It's interesting that they're aware of that. They're aware of knowing that this is our diet. So that's, they're clean.
Correct.
That's nice. I also really like how, he's really jumpy. It seems like every little move you make, he's like, what is that? What is that? What's going on?
That is actually now very exciting for us because he's now seeing, right? Eyes like a hawk, and he's curious. Before, this bird would have been like a vegetable a bit, right? That's the problem with the poor diet. And it applies to animals as well as human beings. The poor diet creates developmental issues. And we've seen it a lot with our children today because of the interesting, colorful diet that they have, for want of better words, right now. So it's creating problems. It's suppressing some of their natural spark and stuff like that, and curiosity. But with a good diet, this bird is now, he's looking at everything. And that's what it does. So you would drive past on the city Arima Blanchisseuse Road, the North Coast Road, and if you were not driving, hopefully, and you sit in the passenger seat and you're looking around and you see an old dry-up tree at the very top, you'll probably see this bird just sitting there, just like this. And if you pass back after you bathe on the beach for a few hours and have fun, you will see the bird probably in that same spot. And you'll probably say, that bird didn't move yet. And it's possible that it didn't, but it probably would have circled around and came back to the same spot. That would be his spot for hunting and for scoping out his prey. He's doing his sentry from that spot. And they don't like to fly a lot because that's taking energy. So they will stand and they use their eyes, because he has eyes like a hawk, and literally just scan the area until he finds something that he thinks he can consume.
How much food would he eat in a day? What does he look for to hunt?
Well, his favorite food would be lizards, right? And after that, it would be snakes. So reptiles are his cup of tea, literally. So you'd swoop down, grab an iguana from in a treetop, and even as big as this bird is, the amazing thing with this bird, it's amazingly agile with its wings. So it can fly in between tight spaces, literally turn itself like a fighter jet, get in the tight spaces, grab the iguana, and take off. And I had actually the honor of seeing that happen. At our last location, we had an outdoor sink where we would wash the rats and mice equipment. And I was there doing just that, a whole lot of sardine cans, washing out, monotonous tasks. And I looked out and I saw this amazing, beautiful, big iguana in the tree. And I'm saying, oh my gosh, what a big, beautiful. And before my mind could say iguana, a white hawk burst down and just grabbed that iguana, and in one swoop, right back up and took off in the distance. All I saw was the iguana's tail spinning as the white hawk flew off with it. And I was like, holy crap. These are moments I wish I would have had like a GoPro strapped to my head or something, because you do not see that in real time like that so often. But that is what their natural food is. So some people call this the chicken hawk, which is really dumb, because we call about 49 different birds in this country chicken hawk. And they call that all over the place chicken hawk. There is no chicken hawk. No chicken hawk. There are birds that can eat chicken, but they can eat cats. So if you eat a cat, it'll be a cat hawk. And the funny thing is, the most common bird that they call chicken hawk in Trinidad and Tobago eats fish. Osprey. So its actual name is actually fish hawk or osprey.
Right.
It will not touch a chicken, but they call it chicken hawk.
How many iguanas would you need to eat in a day?
You would probably eat one iguana a day. Well, assuming that the body length is about 12 inches or so. At least one iguana a day. Raptors have a very tough life. Very tough life. At everything being perfect and best, they will probably only get food 20% of the times that they try. That is not a good ratio at all. And if they miss now they're hungrier and they get more desperate. So the possibility of getting hit by a car, entangled, hooking up an electrical wire, hitting somebody's window increases, because as you get hungry, I'm sure you must know, Jada, your decision-making process kind of declines a little bit, because now your tummy is telling you, go, 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 and your brain is like, no, we have to go, I'm hungry. And then sometimes we make mistakes, and that's how they lose their lives. Most of them don't live past 5 years, and they can live up to 20 years in captivity. And the reason for that is because with a good diet and you remove out of all the risks. So imagine he goes after a snake and the snake is too big and it damages him. He then dies. He goes after iguana, and iguana sort of catches him mid-air coming in and hits him and damages his eye. He then dies. And it goes on like that. So for every damage or missed opportunity, it reduces his likelihood of longevity tremendously. So they do have a tough life. And it makes it worse when we start doing stupidness like trying to mine them.
Yeah. So would snow ever be let back into the wild?
We're hoping that he can fly, so at least we can have a flying bird. And for the most part, when we start flying a bird of prey, people don't understand is you start flying a bird of prey, they can decide, you know what, today's Wednesday, I'm not feeling to come back. And they go on their way. Because you're not flying it tethered, it's flying loose. So if you have developed a good relationship with the bird, it will come back. If the bird decides, oh, that's a nice girl over there, I go in and check she out, then, and that happens quite a lot. In fact, a lot of falconers release their birds for the opportunity to breed because it's important for the continuance. So it's not just grabbing a bird and mining a bird. There's a whole lot of knowledge, science, and understanding behind it. There is in Afghanistan where they use golden eagles. They only keep them to 5. They take them at 2 and they keep them for 3 years. At 5 years old, they will release that female because she has to go back into nature to produce offspring, so that the same tribe that's using the eagles can have access to babies in the future. It's called sustainability, and in some places it's just called plain old common sense. You can't empty the basket and then go back in the basket to look for more bread.
Yeah. Is snow a male or female?
We believe it's a female because of her girth. There is no visual difference. Some experts can palpate the pelvic region, and if it's a little wider, you can probably assume that it's a female. But it could be a big male. So his pelvic, it's like saying women are smaller, right? And then, some guy who's 5'4" meets that and she's like, oh, kidoki, quite intimidated, So it's there. It varies, and it will vary also based on location and stuff like that. But if it lays an egg, I will guarantee you it's a female. That's the or we can do DNA tests. So we haven't done it yet, but we intend to do a DNA test because that's on our plan today to basically determine the sex of all our animals. So that goes into the files also. And now their behavior and patterns will match in, and we say, okay, the males display this behavior because the information is important going forward. If there's a crisis now and we need to try to save, preserve, conserve, then it's like, well, we really don't know nothing. But we've had it now for how many years, as they say, so we are in a position to know these things.
Yeah. Would it get any bigger than this, or this is
This
full
is pretty
grown?
much decided. It may, if it does not start flying and getting exercise, it may become a bit fatty, develop more fatty tissue and layers of fat. So we have to modify and modulate the diet carefully to make sure that the bird doesn't get fat. It just stays really nice and, sleek the way it should be, because with the additional weight, it will create problems on the legs, the joints, and so on. So the same problems we get, they get. So this is about full grown. Yeah, you're looking at me, it's my hand again. See that there? Yeah, this is just about full grown for this guy here, or girl. We call her Snow. And you want to show them your wings? She has some beautiful wings, and you'll see why they call it a white horse. Show them your wings, please. I'll give them a goner. I'll give you 2 snakes.
Look at that.
Thank you very much. Right? So the beak grows, so we have to crop it. We cropped it, so now we're waiting on a special tool because she does not like our filing tools at all to give it the more natural look. So you can see the cut on the beak there, but we want to file it and bring it and make her pretty, do a little eyelashes, a little rouge, and, get her TV ready. I think she has a photo shoot coming up next month also.
Really?
Yes.
This bird is very bougie. I call this bird very, very bougie. Every little move, she's like, don't touch me. I'm better than you. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, it's just great that she's responding to movements and so on like that. That is just amazing for us because literally, like I said, she was a vegetable. You could do whatever you want in front of her, and she was like in her own world. She was like staring out in the sea like, hi. So now that she is responsive, it is just amazing.
When you first brought her in, I assumed it was a falcon. So I think, tell us, what is the difference between a falcon and a hawk?
Well,
it's
they're in the same family, first of all, birds of prey, raptors. And the falcons are usually more svelte, sleek, athletic. They're built usually is based for speed, direct attacks, air-to-air encounters. Well, the hawks, there are various hawks with different hunting styles, but their bodies are bigger and their wings are broader. So learning about raptors involves learning about their silhouettes. So you'll have that sharp W with points for falcon, whereas hawks have a broad, flattish wing because they saw
an eagle.
Yes, more that type of wing, right? So a broad wing like that cannot really develop the kind of speed that a falcon has. So the falcon, and we do have one, and hopefully he'll be able to come out soon, quite sadly. It is the fastest bird in the world, so I'm going to leave it at that. In fact, not just the fastest bird in the world, it's the fastest animal in the world, and it's a Trini. Right? So you know we Trinis, eh? You know we Trinis. Because we don't mind we own business, we real fast. A different kind of fast, but real fast. And I'll tell you about my encounter with a school with my falcon at one point in time. We had one before. So we have, again, some amazing birds in this country, and each of them so unique with their stories, their colors, their behavior, their nesting, their egg. It's just amazing. And this is where money lies. Money lies in this bird, not catching it and minding it, but people will come into this country, pay money just to see it and check this off their list. Because it's so much easier in Trinidad than it is in South America. Okay, you can be right outside. And I've done that already. I have stepped outside of this office and seen falcons and hawks. Right here, basically in the middle of Port of Spain. The fastest animal in the world loves Port of Spain. And when I bring it on, you'll find out why it loves Port of Spain. And they love cities on the whole.
Because of the rats and
well, they don't really like rats.
Insects.
They like something that people call flying rats. So if you know what those are, that's
pigeons?
Pigeons, yes. Yeah. You can't use all that speed to catch a rat. That's just like using a cannon to kill an ant. You understand? It will work, but you're wasting a lot of firepower. Okay, the fastest animal in the world goes after fast-flying birds, and it hits them in the air. It hits them so hard sometimes, they are decapitated. So you see body going one way and head going another way. That is the speed. I mean, I'm talking serious speed here. Usain Bolt against this animal, this bird, is like my grandmother running against Usain Bolt. It's a no-brainer, no contest. This animal is fast. It's sickeningly fast.
So we're talking about, you're saying fastest animal in the world, so we're talking about, cheetahs.
Those are slow. Cheetah is slow.
Really?
Just imagine, a cheetah is the fastest land mammal.
Yeah.
You running on ground is slow. If you want speed, you got to get airborne. Right? What's the fastest car? Right? Tiny speed compared to a plane. Right? So this animal is like a jet fighter. That's what it is. It's a jet fighter. And its ability to maneuver and so on there is mind-boggling. And we have that right here in Trinidad.
That's beautiful, man.
You know, so when he comes in, it's sad his story. It's because, again, people would have done what people do, really stupid things. And so this animal now is unable. It's lucky to be alive. Really, lucky to be alive. We went through a whole lot. I put a lot of pressure on our vet. You know, doc, we really have to save this one. He said, well, I thought we have to save the one. I said, yeah, but this one is dear to me. It means so much to me, this animal. You know, I don't encounter them enough because I see them all the time. And now you have to hold it in my hand, but the animal is there bleeding out and dying. It's just heart-wrenching. And that is part of what people miss with wildlife rehabilitation. It is considered the most difficult profession in the world because every day, many times a day, you have to question your decision to even be in this because it breaks your heart in a true way. It's not like, oh gosh, I'm feeling sorry for it. No, true way. Tears are shed. I have to be rubbing shoulders, putting heads on my shoulder because volunteers break down. When they took an animal to try to fix it, to make a difference, because some idiot decided to shoot it. And then you wake up 2 o'clock in the morning to give it its meds or just check on its progress, make sure it's not too warm, and then the animal is dead. You know, and then I get that call sometimes 2:15 in the morning, you know, the animal died, and I don't know if I continue this, and it doesn't make any sense. It's a lot of questioning, a lot of soul searching. It's not just about, oh, I like animals, I want to buy animals. That's what you see outside. What we encounter on the inside is that pain, that real, true emotion that connects us to the wild world, and our true and genuine efforts to make a difference, not just for the animals, but for you and me. Me helping this bird is not just about this bird or myself, but this bird is what's going to probably help control rodents and reptiles in your area. And you will never understand it, but that doesn't mean that it should not occur. So it's a tough world out there, but we're trying to bring it to people. We're trying to get people out there to understand that this is the bigger picture. And on top of it all, we have a chance to earn a living.
Yeah.
Right? Earn Forex. Have a better standard of living. Live healthier, nicer lives. So it all is on the plus side. No negatives to it. The only negatives is when fools do stupid things and people have to suffer the consequences of that. That's the really hard part.
So, do you plan to hold our White Hawk this morning, Jada?
Yeah, I mean, I'm using the falconer's.
No, you have nice skin. You have nice skin.
I have a sensitive skin, so it isn't. Well, can I keep the watch on? No. Take the watch on.
All right, so what we do, we'll get the perch in there first, in the middle out there. You get that perchy in the middle there. And Snow loves the perch. Go on, you perchy. There you go. And, all right, let's get this both over there. Let's see. So I'm giving a raptor. When we do the raptor training course, this is part of what you do. First, you have to be able to handle your raptor after you learn about them. So slip your hand in there. It's going to be warm because my hand is in there. Get your fingers articulate well. Make a fist. Make a fist, right? Strong fist, right? So now, what you are going to do is that you are going to, and I'm just going to give a little whistle, and you push against him. Huh? There we go.
Smooth.
Ladies and gentlemen,
She's a
Jada, now you have to keep that hand strong, because if that hand goes down, she's going to be like, oh my gosh, this branch is falling. And then she's going to do that, and then you're going to scream, and she's going to go up to the light, and then the producers are going to freak out, and let's not have that this morning. Right, okay.
She has a bit of weight on her. It's actually...
All right, I have to move this away because, okay, and you can fold in a bit there and keep that strong right there. Don't worry about your face. Once you keep that arm strong, all right? I'll give you a little support below here. Right, lovely. Okay, so there we go. Raptor Handling 101.
This is the first time. I'm so proud of Jada right now that she's holding the animal on air. So
you see how beauty gets you places. This is a gorgeous bird, and it's the first bird I've held on air.
So this is how it goes, folks.
Yeah.
She is so beautiful. Oh, look at she's watching me. She's watching me.
She is. I mean, this is... So, but I just think would the lack of one of her talons, I believe you call it, would that affect her hunting?
It probably would to an extent. A little less grip, but we've seen that happen to wild birds. Gray-line hawks do a lot of rats. And they do get bitten, and if it gets infected, they can lose that entire toe.
Yeah, that's why I asked if there's a chance of her going back out into the wild, because I assume the lack of the talent would make it difficult for her. She would technically be disabled in a sense.
It's like if you lose a finger.
Okay.
You could be considered disabled, but I feel you can make it.
Okay.
You know, I've known people who've lost an arm and they're doing quite well.
Yeah.
I've even known a young lady with no arms, and she is on the top of her world.
Yeah.
Okay, so we do find ways to overcome and compensate, and you know, it's great. It shows that it's about survival, and these animals are fighting for it out there in a tough world. They've adapted to our cities, they've adapted to our sewers, our parks, all the stuff that we throw at them. But should they really have to go through and suffer so much just to exist in a country, on an island where they existed before the first human even came in?
Yeah,
you know? So it's just fair and right. It's like us going to Mars and displacing whoever might have been there before. That's just right.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to
hold on? I think we could, I'll hold her after, that's fine. But we can, no, you have to close off the show with with Snow.
Right, yeah, you getting the last word.
Yeah, you and Snow. So we're gonna end here. I know we have, as usual, a quote.
Yes. So the quote for today is by one of my favorite musicians, composers, and entertainers, Lin-Manuel Miranda. It reads, "There's no exact recipe for today. Just gather up all available ingredients and whip yourself up something delicious." In other words, take charge of your own day and make it a good one for yourself.
Love that. Love that. So that brings us to the end of this morning's AM Prime. So stay safe, stay inspired, stay informed, and we'll see you back here again tomorrow morning. Oh, thank you, Mr. Mead, for joining us on the program. Of course.
Stay wild.
Stay wild.
Happy Wild Wednesday.
Happy Wild Wednesday. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, folks.
WESN.
Don't stop.
Previously on Cover Star.
Just keeping on with my flow.
We met the voices, and we met our first 2 panels of judges. Episode 1, Vonette Bickford and myself, Hannah Abdul. Episode 2, Candice Alcantara and the piano girl Johanna. And shout out to our judges for tonight's episode, Jarrell Forbes, Luke Samerson, and Vonette is back. Over the last 2 episodes, we got into the covers, and the judges looked, listened, and scored. 2 contestants were unable to perform due to illness. They did not score, and they were out of the running. This is Cover Star, where music history meets its next voice.
On WESN, the content capital.
As you come in. Long time I see you. This station complete. Ready for children party. Mommy! Jay, you can't go nowhere with these children. And you know you can't depend on Kevin neither Steven to see about them. Yes. Total waste. So I supposed to stay home whole time? Jada is 12. She could see about that. You just leave Jada to see about Kia and Kayla. I thought it was your mother or your sister. Who? Them always busy. Jada could handle that. She cooking and cleaning a long time. And the next 2, better know what time it is. It's only me, you know. I will talk to my mother. She just home these days. She will make sure the children okay. Alright. Let me see the moves for later.
Before you ramage, make sure the children okay. Call 996 to report all child abuse.